Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the next episode of Home in Motion. This is our first episode on the first day of 2025. So we're starting the year off right. And we'll be talking about Windsor, California today, which I'm pretty excited about because I think this one is a kind of a place where it's pretty unassuming even for Sonoma County. So but we had a really great time, so I'm excited to talk about it. And I forgot to introduce ourselves again. I'm Leanne.
And I'm Ryan.
All right. So a little bit about Windsor. One of the things that I found interesting when I was doing all of my research for the episode was there's Windsor Castle in England. And so like a lot of stuff when I was searching what to do in Windsor and that kind of stuff, it was coming up with all these like English castles and like all this stuff from England. But that's actually how the town got its name was because a Pony Express rider back like a hell of a long time ago came here and was from England originally. So then because like the area looked like Windsor Castle in England, he was like, oh, I'm going to name it Windsor.
Mm.
So they're not the same, but they must have looked the same back in the day. And with this episode too, I know you've given me a hard time because with a few of our episodes, I've had some splurges and wanting to do like fun things that I enjoy that maybe cost a little bit more. So tried to go the opposite direction and see how the least expensive I could make this episode. And I think I did a pretty good job.
Yeah, you have to remind me. So I don't know. We'll see.
And I also feel like Windsor, I mean, I kind of said this, like, because it's literally like right down the road from us. I feel like we've kind of been sleeping on Windsor. Like we kind of have our two things that we go to Windsor for. Sweet teas, which is like the only barbecue place in California that we've found that like is anything close to home. And we've tried lots of places.
I wouldn't say close to home. I would say they're better than what we've had so far.
Yeah, that we enjoy. Like
that we enjoy. Yeah, that's close to us now.
Yep.
I think I've had other places that were really good. They're just not close to us.
Yep. Because, I mean, I feel like going back down to the city and stuff like that, like other places. Like,
yeah.
But
I think there's a few places in like Oakland that I've had with the guys that I ride motorcycles with.
Yeah.
And Richmond, I want to say I had some good barbecue there.
Yeah.
But yeah, here in Santa Rosa, yeah.
Or in Sonoma County, because we've tried like other towns and stuff like outside of.
Yeah.
Because we've gone down to Sevastopol, and I feel like that's probably the main other area we've tried barbecue. But the sweet teas is by far the best, and then I go to Walmart. Those are like the two things we go to Windsor for.
Yeah. Sometimes I go down there for the Home Depot because for some reason Santa Rosa's Home Depot is always out of stock of stuff.
Yeah.
But if you go anywhere outside of Santa Rosa, they always are in stock.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I don't know what's going on in Santa Rosa.
But I feel like because we kind of have our things we go there for, like we haven't really explored it like we have some of the other areas.
Yeah.
As far as like fun stuff to do. So I was kind of excited. The first thing we did, and my motivation for like the order of things was so that the kids would kind of have their energy like all burnt out before we went and did stuff. So they have like a lot of, I feel like the small towns and why we like Sonoma County, they have a town green. So it's kind of like a little plaza that's like open green space, and they have a playground. And so that was kind of our kids' activity, and it's free. And they had both a toddler and a bigger kid playground. So it was perfect because it really matched both Olivia and Noah's ages. And they had this, when we post stuff on social media, I'll try and get either a picture or one of the little videos I got. But they had this like little spinny thing, and like both of them, which Noah surprised me how much he was like playing with the other kids on that. And by this point you were out walking around, but
don't the merry-go-round?
Yeah, but it's not a merry-go-round. It was a little, like you could sit on it, and it's like a little metal thing. It wasn't a merry-go-round because somebody had to manually push them.
All merry-go-rounds you have to
No,
push.
no, not. Oh, I'm thinking carousel.
Yes.
But
I don't know
I
what
don't
you
know.
thinking
I don't
about.
know what it's technically called, but it was a spinny thing that the kids could sit on, and they were all like trying to talk the adults into like spinning them around on it and
Yeah.
going super fast. And
Well, that's what we call them back in North Carolina, where we're from.
yeah,
I don't know what they call them here in California, but when I was growing up, they were called merry-go-rounds.
yeah, I don't even remember, but I just know that was like once they got on that, they were entertained for a while, and um, they also had this like dragonfly teeter totter that like Noah really liked because it was like two people and his sister Olivia got on there and he didn't want to give it up for other kids. He didn't want to share.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's like one of the better playgrounds that like has kept them busy, and they had multiple stuff to do where it wasn't just the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, I think for Windsor, I've noticed a long time ago that their downtown is really catered to like families.
Yeah.
Like it's very family oriented, similar to like Hillsburg.
Yeah, especially with the town green, like, and the plaza in Healdsburg reminds me of that, and how the Windsor is the same, where all the businesses and stuff are kind of
Yeah.
around the town green, so
Hmm.
it's like set up very similar. But I feel like
Yeah.
that's what we like
I
about
think
Sonoma County.
that is the best design that I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I just love that about Windsor and Hillsburg.
yeah, and the kids got to play, and granted, this was like in the winter time, but they have a lot
Mhm.
of. We caught like the beginning of all the holiday activities. So they do this little holiday celebration. So they had like Christmas lights, and they do this little Charlie Brown Christmas tree grove where the local businesses can sponsor a tree, and then they get to decorate it. So like some of the wineries did wine themes, and different restaurants did themes around their businesses. So it's kind of cool. We didn't see it like before. We saw the trees before they were decorated, but they had like a Charlie Brown decorated Christmas tree as well already set up. So we're on the beginning of all the holiday festivities, which works for wintertime. But in the summer, they have concerts like on Thursday evenings. So that works too. Like if you want to be outside, especially in the summertime, and then they've got music. And then they also do, I think it's towards the end of the summer where they start doing the movies outside, where like they'll show movies and you can sit on the ground. But like you said, very family friendly, and the playground was free and got all their energy out before we went to the tasting room to drink wine. So they had like all their energy out before we were like wanting them to sit a little bit more still.
Yeah. I think out of all three, Hillsburg, Windsor, and Santa Rosa has the ugliest downtown.
But I feel like Healdsburg and Windsor are just more quaint. Like they're a little bit smaller,
Yeah,
and I
that's
feel like
true.
Santa Rosa is so spread out because you have like the true downtown, and then you have the other part of the Railroad Square around the corner and stuff. So I feel like it's just
I actually like Railroad Square. It's a nice little area.
Yeah.
Although it's not very big.
No, it's not. But it's got like nice restaurants and stuff.
Yeah.
But
because then you have Montgomery Village that I like to go to. It's like a bunch. Yeah, never mind. Santa Rosa is just different, I guess, because it's so spread out.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about with the park before?
No.
Yeah. Like I said, it got their energy out and it was free.
Right.
The next place we went to was Mutt Lynch Winery, and they have a tasting room that it's like right off the town green. So we weren't sure exactly how far it was, so we like moved our car, but really we could have just like walked from the playground over to the tasting room. As far as the history, the owner and winemaker is Brenda Lynch, so her name is kind of in the name itself. And they moved to Sonoma County in the mid-1990s, and she worked in some different cellars and like wineries on the Russian River, which is where she got passionate about making wine before she went out on her own. And then what really struck me on like one of the reasons why I wanted to go there was like for her, she really wants to be unpretentious in her winemaking. And I think that's one of the things that I like about Sonoma County compared to Napa is like it has that down home feel and like really laid back where, you don't have to be like cute outfit, Instagram worthy, like super dressed up, like the kind of reputation that Napa
Like the
has.
Kentucky Derby style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was what really struck with me. It was like she wanted something that was just, and that's why she focused it on the dogs too. Like she's like, why not? Like I love dogs, so why not make wine that's like centered around what I love about dogs?
Hmm.
Um,
Interesting. Wait, say it again?
she like was like, why not talk like because people have asked her like why did you name it like or focus it around dogs, and she's
Uh-huh.
like, why not? Like can't it be like there's no reason, and she loves her dogs, so like if it's something personal to her and she made the wine, like why not have it represent
Hmm.
her? So
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that makes sense to me because so many people are dog people.
Yeah.
Like,
So I guess like the tasting room itself is a representation of her personality, or I don't know.
like the name of because Mutt Lynch
Mm-hmm.
Winery, it, like from Mutt in the name, and then they've have had vineyard dogs like with that go around with them when they're fielding the grapes and
Oh,
putting
okay.
everything together. So
Mm,
like she has personal pets that
mm,
like worked the vineyards with her, and then all of her wine bottles have like dog pictures, and some of them are customized or have like a specific meaning, but they're all have dog pictures on them. So it was like all about the dogs.
mm.
Um, and what I really liked was that it had both indoor and outdoor seating. So it was like very casual. And even though it was quote unquote winter time here, we went out on a really nice sunny day where like the doors were open to the tasting room, and it they have tables and everything outside. So we could have sat in either or place. Like it would have been perfectly comfortable. So um, I feel like that works for us, especially with the kids, just because we can have flexibility around where they sit and
Yeah.
kind of those kind of things depending
Well,
on what's going.
and the cool thing about it is she has things for children to do.
Yep. And that was something that's not like on their website. So I was
Yeah.
excited to see that, which I mean, Noah at 3, it didn't really entertain him all that long, but Olivia, like she had dominoes to play with and she was coloring, like it kept her where she was just kind of doing her own thing while we were drinking wine.
Yeah. Well, I think Noah's just different.
He just wants
Like,
to move. He
yeah,
doesn't want to sit.
he's a very active, physically active person. So like nothing's going to keep his
Yeah.
interest long. But I think like for children that aren't physically active driven, that's a great place to be
Yep.
because she has a lot of things, books to read, coloring books. I mean, she has a whole big giant basket of stuff. And
Yeah.
on top of this environment in general, I mean, it's like a store
Yeah.
with a bunch
So,
of toys and stuff, like dog toys and stuff.
which Olivia was wanting to like go and look around, and like,
Yeah.
of course, she always wants to buy something, but
Yeah. I mean, that was cool about it, but that also made me nervous at the same time because bringing children in there,
yeah,
especially like Noah's age 3.
where they want to grab and
Yeah.
touch on
So
everything.
it was nice, but it was still like a little nerve wracking because you didn't want him to destroy the store.
Yeah. But they're dog friendly
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, and that was nice as well. Cause I feel like both kids, it's funny because we had Harley when Olivia was younger. I feel like now she's more skittish around dogs, but Noah didn't grow up with a dog in the house so far.
Mm,
And he's like more comfortable. So it's just
yeah.
funny to me. She gets more skittish, but she still loves dogs and everything.
Well,
But
okay. He did grow up with a dog a little bit with Miss Alicia.
yeah, that's true. He's been around dogs, but not like Olivia, like Harley was, we had Harley in the
Yeah.
house.
He was part of the house. Yeah.
Yeah. And they got to pet a couple of dogs. Like, I mean, clearly if people are bringing their dogs to that winery, like they're going to be well behaved ish. So I feel like that also helped keep them entertained because they could focus on what the dogs were doing and who was coming in and out and everything.
Yeah.
And then the other reason that I wanted to go there was I listened to this other podcast, the Winemakers podcast, and they're big like Rhone varietal fans. So they talk about this Grenache Syrah Mourvedre blends or GSM blends, and it's like a traditional Rhone varietal, like one of the old school red blends, and she has made one. So I was like excited to try it just because it'd been on my list of when I was considering.
Does she have her own vineyard?
She sources grapes so she has like 3, from what I could see on the website, like 3 vineyards that she gets grapes from to go into each of the wines. So she's like made partnerships with people over time which the more I've learned about the wine industry, like not everybody owns a vineyard. So they do a lot of like buying grapes from people to still like make wine, even though they don't own a vineyard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
But then she makes her own wine.
Yep. She like puts it together.
Similar to the guy that we went to that was in the wine barrel. What was that again?
Dane Cellars.
Dane Cellar, yeah.
And he's on the podcast, that Winemakers podcast too. But
yeah,
so I was excited to try that blend because as I'm like trying to expand my wine that I've like tasted and tried and stuff like that, this was like on the list.
Yeah. I don't know. For me, none of her wine really stood out to me. It's good. It's really, really good. But to me, I think like just the top of the food chain of what we've gone to so far is the Dane Cellars.
Yeah.
Like to me, and that's like me personally, that's the best so far.
Yeah.
Someone has to beat this guy.
Yeah, that's like the standard of who you're like gauging everybody against.
Yeah. Because I mean, obviously your taste buds are different than mine, but he just had that one wine that like, when I tasted it, I was like, what in the world is this?
Well, and it was a Zinfandel. So to be fair, she doesn't make a Zinfandel.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just saying.
But
she has really good wine.
And I feel like it's really easily drinkable. Like that's, like you said, there's like variations of things that you're looking for in wine. And like his is like unique flavors and things like that. And hers was like very drinkable and like easy to just sit there and relax and enjoy.
Yeah, she has some really good wines. But yeah, when you start ranking these people, I'm sorry.
That's not fair.
No, because like, well, to me,
you
have to beat Dane Cellars. Actually, the guy that had the farm, the one we went to that was in the barn, he was pretty good too.
Yeah, Belden Barnes.
That I would say Dean Cellars and then Belden Barnes.
Or who your our top 2.
Yeah, because and they're smaller manufacturers or whatever you call them.
Well, and that's why I pick most of the places we go to because, like, the big places, like, they're known for their consistency and, like, you know what you're going to get from year to year. But, like, I really like the, like, grassroots, like, people that are from where we live and that are the small production.
I just feel like when you go to, like, a smaller taste room, or what do you call these people?
A tasting room is like where we went for lunch, and then a winery or a vineyard.
Okay, so they own their own winery because they make their own wines. Mm-hmm. Okay, because I'm not into all this stuff, but I'm learning
terminology.
Yeah, but I forgot where I was going with this, but
why we like the small places.
Oh yeah, so like to me, I feel like you get a very like different taste from these smaller wineries, where I feel like when you go to these bigger wineries, everything is like, I would just say it's commercial. That's commercial wine.
Yeah.
Most of it, because it all tastes the same. You can get the same bottle damn near,
every
from any,
time.
Not restaurant, but grocery store,
or
especially here
Target,
in California, So I think it's very unique to go to the smaller wines, and I like them way better.
And to me, they also have stories, like for her, like where it's about dogs, like, there's a story behind like why they make wine and how what they're passionate about, and like they have an angle of like what they're trying to, kind of like a chef in a way, like what they're trying to say through their wine.
Yeah. And I think that's the cool part about what we're doing, and what I like about it is because when you go to the smaller wineries, you get the life story.
Yep.
You get the life story, and you get the very unique wine that you're not going to get from these big giant manufacturers
that are like funded by international people and have a no name.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're good. I mean, they're that large for a reason.
Yeah.
But I don't know, the smaller ones are just like, I don't know, that's what I like.
Yeah. Me too. Kind of on that note, where they are smaller, this place, we didn't even have to make a reservation. So I think with that gives especially families some flexibility to just like what we did. We went and played on the playground, and then when we were done, we were able to just kind of walk over. And there were several people in the tasting room and just relaxing. And I feel like the tasting was really easy to, like, pace wise. Like we kind of set our pace and everything like that. And I tried to pick like a reasonably priced place, and I feel like her wine is really drinkable. It was only like $100 for the 2 tastings, and then I got my 2 favorite wines, the GSM blend, and then her Pinot Noir, the Girly Girl. So I feel like $100 for both of us to drink wine and to take 2 bottles home is not bad at all. And as far as wines that we drank, it was like her current releases. So she had, we started with a white that was a Sauvignon Blanc and a Semillon, I can't say this one, Semillon blend. And then we had the Girly Girl Pinot Noir. She has a Cabernet Sauvignon. And then we had that GSM blend. So we went kind of through the whole range of things. The other thing that I really like about these smaller wineries that we go to is, whether it's the place we're eating at or the winery, somehow giving back to the community. And they didn't talk about this during the tasting, but she partners with animal rescue organizations. She's worked with like 8 or 9 over the time, and she produces a wine. So she makes a customized wine label and then sells the wine, and 25% of the proceeds go back to that animal rescue organization. So that was like another thing that like is unique that I feel like, sets her apart, is like that giving back to the community in a way that like not everybody does.
Yeah.
And they also do these like monthly yappy hours where she like
that's a funny name. Yeah. So I'm assuming it has something to do with dogs.
Yeah, like where they can all the dogs come, but it's like a happy hour, but the dogs are there.
Yeah.
And she has a cover charge that whatever organization she's working with that month, then 100% of the door fees to get into the little yappy hour go back to that organization. So she like gives back in multiple ways.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I would say I would say it's a little unfair, only because this place is not very big.
Yeah.
I wish it was bigger now. Like, knowing that she does something like that.
Yeah.
I wish she had a bigger space. But I mean, obviously we know space is very freaking expensive around here. So.
Yeah, and I can imagine like right off of their town green where it's like hot commodity with like the retail. It's probably
now hard. The place is not small. It's just when you hear someone doing something like that, you want them to pack the place more than what she can do.
Yeah,
but
to be able to raise money and everything.
Yeah.
And then you kind of already talked about how she's got like dog toys and treats and dog like stuff for your house. Like, so if you've got any friends that are like dog lovers, I feel like it's a good spot to pick up like a cute little unique gift. Anything else?
No, I actually, you know what, I really think that's cool, because when we were younger, because we're old now, we used to leave Harley at the house all the time.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if you had more places like this that like were super dog friendly. Like when we lived in Chapel Hill or Carborough, I can't remember, it's Chapel Hill. There was like a few places, But it was very rare to be able to bring your dog to a sit down restaurant.
Yep.
I mean, obviously she's not a sit down restaurant, but I mean, you can't think of many places, especially a winery, where you can taste wine and have your dog sit in the tasting room with you.
Yeah, especially you think of that more for like breweries and stuff
Yeah.
like that, but not as much
I
for
really
wineries.
hope one day she gets a bigger place
Yeah.
because I feel like that's a hit, especially like if she could get into a spot to where it's like nice open fields and
Yep,
dogs
and
can
the
just
dogs
run
can
around.
almost like a mini dog park.
Yeah,
Like,
and just think like having an actual dog park on her winery in her like in the area.
yeah.
Like I imagine that
Yeah.
one day. But yeah, but that's it. I think it's a cool concept. Wine's good. Uh, environment's cool.
Yeah. And we survived with the kids. I feel like they did
Yeah.
pretty good. And we were
Yeah.
like there were enough people there where it was like close quarters where like it could have gone either way. It was a coin toss.
Well, towards the end, it started to get really like more and more people started to come in when we were about to leave.
Yeah.
Which I think it was like perfect timing for us to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a cool place. It's a really nice place.
And then last but not least is the food. And this one, we had kind of a couple choices. I feel like we always result to pizza because between both kids, like that's what both of them like. But luckily, Windsor has a really good pizza place for us to talk that we tried and for us to talk about. And when I was doing my research for this episode, I learned more that like we didn't hear about at the restaurant that was really cool. So the place is PizzaLeah, and it was maybe like not even a 5-minute drive from downtown. It was like just around. Wasn't walkable, but it wasn't a far drive.
Mm-hmm.
And the owner's name is Leah, and she actually started, which you may or may not remember this place, but she started making pizza at Pizza My Heart, which is the chain.
Sounds very familiar.
Remember when we went to Capitola, which is the place kind of down towards Santa Cruz that has the pretty bright pink houses, the like bright colored houses right on the beach?
No, but go ahead.
There's a Pizza My Heart that it's kind of like Pacifica, where they had restaurants and stuff right on the beach.
Yeah.
And they had a Pizza My Heart. That was like the first time we had tried it when we moved out here because Olivia was little. Is
there a Pizza My Heart around here in Santa Rosa?
I can't remember where all the chains are, but Capitola, California was where we had tried it first.
Oh, okay.
And then she decided to branch out on her own after she'd gotten enough experience there. And she's got a lot of accolades, which I was like, wow, like it's like a really low key pizza. Like it feels like your neighborhood pizza place. And Olivia had tried it she'd gone with our neighbors that have kids similar age before. So it just is very much a neighborhood spot. And we didn't have to make reservations or anything like that. But she's on the Eater SF list of best Sonoma County restaurants. She's been on the SF Chronicles list of top 25 restaurants in the Bay Area. She's competed in pizza competitions in the U.S. and in Italy. And she has been, which I want to watch the show now, on Hulu's show Best in Dough, which it must have been like a pizza competition. And then...
When was that show?
I don't know. I guess it says 2022. So it wasn't even that long ago.
Yeah, not too long ago.
Must have not just like come up on our like choices of things. And then
I'm a pizza guy. I like pizza.
She was recognized as in Pizza Today's magazine rising star of the pizza industry. I was like, that's like a lot of accolades for like just a neighborhood pizza joint that.
Yeah. Well, okay, we see it as a neighborhood pizza joint, but
not everybody, I guess.
Yeah.
But that was really the reason we picked it, was because both the kids love pizza and it was easy to kind of go from where we were. And again, I feel like I did pretty good as far as like budget wise. It was only like $75 for 2 pizzas and drinks, but they were big pizzas. Like it fed all 4 of us. It wasn't, I don't remember you coming home and snacking after we ate there. That's not bad in this day and age. You forget, like, it's like for a decent sized pizza is $30. We can go spend more than that at Mary's.
Well, okay, yeah, that's true. I'm just not used, because we normally make our own pizza now. So it's like, when I hear these prices, I'm just like, oh my goodness.
And that, I think that pales in comparison to some of the other places we've ate at for some of our other episodes.
Yeah. But anyways, listen, it's really good pizza though.
And you've gotten into making pizza a lot more, but they use a electric brick oven, so it's like oven pizza, and then they cold ferment the dough. So,
that's a common method.
Is that like New York style? Because that's what it kind of said on the.
I mean, New York style. Some New York styles might do that, but a lot of Italian styles do that too.
Yeah,
they cold ferment. It helps. It just helps with fermentation.
Yeah, so that's like what makes her pizza dough unique. Mm-hmm. And then you and the kids.
That's not unique. That's a very common method of how to ferment your dough. But some places probably don't use it.
Yeah.
But I think it's definitely more of a Napoleon style, Italian style pizza.
Yep. And then I guess what makes her unique is like the California ingredients and like the toppings and stuff that they put on it.
Yeah. It's good pizza. It's really good pizza.
Yeah, it was. And I feel like but we were kind of rushed at the end because like Noah had reached his capacity. So we were going to run.
Yeah, that's the only thing that really messes some of the stuff up was when, we were on Noah's time.
Yeah.
So whenever Noah's ready to go, it's time to go.
And he like just wasn't having it at that point. So, but y'all got to eat a fair amount of the pepperoni pizza. And then I went with what was their award-winning pizza, the Nico pie, which is like a white pizza with garlic on it. And I was actually surprised even Olivia liked that. Like she's like in that phase now of being 9, almost 10, where she's like course corrected a little bit, where she used to be super adventurous and now she's like getting to be a little bit more picky before hopefully she gets back to being more adventurous again. So I was surprised that she actually wanted to try it. She just didn't want to like eat the garlic, but for the like white pizza, like she liked it. I know it wasn't your cup of tea, but I really loved it.
Yeah.
I love a white pizza. Like to me, that's just like simple, and I get it. It might not just be.
But to be fair, I'm not a white pizza guy at all.
Yeah,
like I am a true traditional marinara pizza sauce type of person.
Yeah,
either cheese pizza. Well, I've started to like cheese pizza because of these kids. But typically, like I wouldn't even eat pepperoni pizza. It was the
like meat
supreme.
Lovers.
No, I don't like meat lovers.
Well,
it was the supreme. I want everything on it.
Yeah.
That's normally how I would eat pizza.
Yeah.
Minus pineapples. I don't do pineapples. That's weird.
Well,
pineapples is ugh. But anyways, yeah. I'm just not a white pizza guy. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's outstanding, but the pepperoni pizza is pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty sure just a regular cheese slice is good too. I feel like if you have a regular cheese slice that's really good, you have good pizza. Yeah. Because it's not about the toppings, it's about your dough and your sauce. Cheese doesn't really matter too much because everybody's using a low moisture cheese and stuff like that. Everybody's using pretty much similar cheese. Except when you go to these gourmet places, they do fancy stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't really care about the cheese. I want to taste the sauce and the dough. That's what I'm really trying to pay attention to. And they have some really good. Well, they use sauce I can get from my local store, but but her recipe is good.
And I feel like he has literally made us try like probably 15 brands of canned tomato making his pizza sauce at home, and that's the one that you've landed on of like the keeper of making. So
because I want to try them all.
Yeah.
Because like at one point I was trying to make a true Napoleon style pizza.
Yeah.
kids don't really like that style too much.
Yeah, they want the more like doughy.
Yeah, they want the more soft, almost New York style pizza. That's what they like.
Yeah.
So like now I'm trying to I figured out the dough, and now it's like I want to figure out what sauce I like.
Yep.
What can get me closest to the flavor that I want without adding too many ingredients, and that was the brand.
Yeah.
Like the Italian tomatoes, they're really good.
Yeah.
But I feel like they just go very well with a Napoleon style pizza. But if you want an American New York style pizza, you probably need to use an American tomato.
Right.
Because one, we don't have I can't make the proper dough because I don't have a brick oven that can go up to 700 degrees.
Yeah.
So I have to use flour that's suitable for my freaking oven over here. So, but yeah, that's it. That's why we use so many. Well, I wanted to try so many. It's just trying to find that right flavor that I like.
Right, without having to manipulate it a lot to get there.
But her sauce is way better than mine. I'm still working on my sauce.
Yeah.
But the sauce is fantastic.
Yeah. I feel like, I mean, I obviously research, so I feel like we pick decent places, but I feel like that was one of a good one.
That's one of the few places that I'd say, I would love to go back.
Yeah.
That place, I would love to go back. The place that the last restaurant we went to, what was it? We've been twice already.
Glen Ellen Star.
Glen Ellen Star is a place that.
Well, that's one of my splurges, but and you can see why.
Okay, but anyways, this is not about them.
Yeah.
But her pizza spot is a place that I would say, it's worth the drive. Yeah. It's a little bit further than. Actually, no.
For us, it's not any different.
No, because it's shameful to say. It's very shameful to say that y'all like Papa John's. Because
well, I feel like it was the cheesy bread, but now you've made cheesy bread for us to where we don't talk about Papa John's anymore. But.
Yeah. Now we go to the pizza place across the street.
Yeah.
But I think she is worth us switching.
Drive.
She is worth us switching and saying, look, this dude, there's a pizza guy's right down the road, which they're okay. They're not bad.
Yeah.
It's not, it's good. It's not the best thing in the world, but it's good.
Yeah.
Better than Papa John's.
Yeah.
But I think that's a 2-minute drive, and she's probably like a 10-minute drive?
Yeah, 10 minutes.
I think it's worth switching and going to her.
Yeah, I think so.
Or that restaurant. Is that the only restaurant she has?
I believe so. I don't think she has another location.
That's good. That's a good spot. That's worth the 10-minute drive.
Well, that's why I said I feel like we've been sleeping on Windsor, to circle back to where we started. We really haven't explored it because we really only go there for sweet teas.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, that's your fault because you're the only one that if it's too close to us, you don't think it's good enough. Nah, I ain't gonna say not good enough, but it's not special to you.
Yeah.
Even though we live.
I don't disagree with you on that. I do forget stuff that's close to us.
Yeah. You forget that we are a tourist destination. We live in a tourist destination.
Yeah.
We live in Sonoma County where it's amazing food everywhere.
Yeah.
And wineries everywhere. I mean, you're the wino. I don't care about that stuff, but I care about the food.
Yeah.
And yeah. Good food everywhere.
It met Ryan Lee's standards.
Yeah, it's a good place. Yeah. I mean, and the kids like pizza, so can't go wrong.
Anything else you want to say about Windsor? I feel
I think we need to do her restaurant a little bit more justice because we only tried the pizza. We need to go back and probably try to get more things off the menu because they actually do more than pizza, right?
They have, I think, salads. It's mostly pizzas.
Yeah, mostly pizza, but I feel like there was was it stromboli on there?
Oh, yeah. Yes, as far as that. Let's see, signature.
Calzones. They do a few different things.
Square pan pies. Yeah, they've got calzone, garlic knots, meatballs.
Meatballs, okay. Well, I think meatballs would be a true test of her sauce.
Yep, because especially if the meat is simple, then you're tasting mostly the sauce. So.
Yeah, but even if the meatballs are heavily flavored, the sauce still will either complement it or make it worse,
Yeah.
or destroy the meatballs.
Yeah.
So I want to try her meatballs because then I really get an idea of what her sauce tastes like.
Yeah. Well, we have a reason to go back. We really enjoyed our time in Windsor, and I think I reached my goal of staying on a relatively reasonable budget that everyone can manage. And
yeah, I guess paying $70. Well, I guess I can't complain about that.
Yeah, but we really enjoyed it, and we are kicking off the new year, so we'll see you guys back for future episodes.
Yeah, bye.